You're listening to an Awkward Human podcast on the 5x5 network. If you want to find out more about this show and all the other cool stuff that we do, visit awkwardhuman.com. Hello and welcome to the Awkward Human Survival Guide. This week we're talking about
cowboy lust,
a sudden silent treatment,
and gifts for a lady.
Hello and welcome to the episode. I'm Adam Dodges.
I am Erica Elson. We're joined today by Anayat Fakhraie. Is that how we're saying it these days? Anayat Fakhraie.
These days, did it change recently?
Yeah, why?
Used to
Well, it's
be
pronounced
Fakhraie.
Fakhraie. But I feel like Fakhraie is just an easier.
He wanted to make it easier on people.
It's harder syllables. It's easier, like harder sounding.
When there's no
syllables for the
R.
American.
Yeah, but then you still have to pronounce your first name, which
Anayat,
everyone
yeah.
likes to say Anayat.
But once you know how to say it, it's really easy.
Try it
Yeah.
before you buy
Anayat.
it. Have a riot with
Anyway.
Anayat. Now you know. Now you know how
On
to do
social media, every time you post like a picture or whatever anything, your name is just I think like Anayat F, right?
it. Yeah.
But every time I see it, I read it as Anayat as fuck.
I like
Oh
that.
man, I wish I could do that. I should rebrand it like that.
Well, I mean, because your initials are as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I've thought that
Yeah.
too. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I just never remembered. But yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
Either way.
hi, Richard.
Hi.
Richard's here
Hey,
too.
Richard. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey. Do people still say that?
Hey, hunties.
People still say hey, girl. Hey.
I don't know. I don't think I hear it as much, but
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know
sure
what
some
people
people say it.
I feel like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it was like all the rage.
Yeah.
We were just talking about drag queens. So.
Now the rage is shade. It's all about the shade.
Well, that's
I thought it was
completely
Yas Queen.
different.
Tea and shade.
Isn't Yas
Oh, I'm just
Queen?
talking about expressions that people
Oh,
say.
yeah.
So am I.
I feel like Yas
I know, but he
Queen's
said it's
more
completely
timely,
different.
isn't it?
Oh.
And I was
That's
like,
more
well, it's
recent,
not
but
in
I
the realm
think
of expressions.
I think people say Yas Queen a little bit less. I think now they
that
just
one
say
needs to
Yas.
go. I
yeah.
hate
Or
but
queen.
It's the Yas that I don't like. I just find that really
And Aisha Tyler is
off-putting.
trying to get Yas
Yes,
Quant to.
What is
to
a quant?
trend.
It's the original form of cunt. I guess I was like hesitating to say that. I'm like, wait a minute, what show am I on?
I thought a quant was a person who worked in a bank and who did really
Yeah,
complicated
that's what I
mathematical
thought.
analysis.
Well,
I think
it's
that's an abbreviation for that. Yeah,
QUIENT.
I thought it was QW.
No.
I thought it was spelled really
And
oddly.
it's supposed to mean like a pleasing thing or something beautiful,
You
pleasing
guys are gonna have to
thing.
apologize tomorrow for all this.
I know.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I
for
keep
being so inclusive.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's
One
it.
love, guys. One love.
One love.
I'm trying to figure out how
Love
this
is
spelled.
love.
It is. Love is love.
Uh-huh.
Is love. Is
Thank
love.
you.
Mhm. Yeah, well, you know, let's talk about this for a second. I found the amount of stuff that companies have been doing for Pride to be absolutely nauseating.
It's a lot this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it
I'm
way
getting
more than any
emails,
year?
and they don't know that. Well, I mean,
Themed
they probably
foods?
the data knows I'm gay, but
Like Shake Shack is doing a special milkshake. Like
Yeah.
every fast food or chain is doing a special menu item.
I feel like I'm siding with the bigots a little bit because I'm like,
Getting
this
in
is
on the
too
market.
much gay.
I don't think
I
that,
don't want this.
like, even objectively speaking, I don't think it's too much gay. I just think it's too much random shit that doesn't have to do with pride. Like,
Yeah.
what does food have to do with pride?
Well, the thing that, like, I
Every
guess
business wants to capitalize. They know gays spend for two.
I
Well,
think-
wouldn't it make more sense to offer a discount on Pride to be like, hey, get 10% off anything you order on Pride Day versus we made a rainbow cake even though we make burgers normally?
Yeah, the thing that bugs me is like a Shake Shack that creates merchandise just for Pride. That kind of thing, because it's like, well, who's going out there getting a Shake Shack shirt?
I don't know.
And now they have a Shake Shack shirt with the
But they go
rainbow.
to Shake Shack and get a Shake Shack shirt for
stuff.
Pride because they want to show their Shake Shack pride and gay pride.
And so it's
trying to get
like
more Shake
companies
Shacks in
like
there,
that
but
don't normally do
not so
a
easy.
thing like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
That are like, oh, now we have this thing for Pride or whatever.
Like, if a gay bar is doing special themed drinks, that makes perfect sense. If a regular company that doesn't normally make special drinks is making Pride drinks, then it's like, well, that's weird if you normally sell Coke and now you're selling, like, you know, a pink milkshake.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see. I just there's this meme that has been going around with Buscemi. What's his name?
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I was talking about this, and Richard like pulls up a meme for it. So right after
in 30 Rock, Steve Buscemi's a spy, and he goes into a high school, and he's like, "Hello, fellow students. Like, how are you guys doing today, or whatever?" And so in this meme, they flip it around. And he's wearing a rainbow pride shirt. And he's like, "Hello, fellow gays. How are you?" And like the meme is like all the companies coming out with their pride stuff.
Right.
And it's like it does feel that way. Where it's like, where was this like last year?
You know what it is?
I just
it's
don't believe
Miracle
it.
on 35th Street. You remember that movie?
No.
35th Street.
Is it 34th Street?
34th.
Yes.
Well, the
yes,
classic
Miracle-
one is
I'm sorry.
34.
Miracle on
My sister
34th Street.
toured in that
I
musical
thought you were
for a
gonna be
year.
like the
No.
35th Street is the gay one.
No. In the movie Miracle on 31st Street, if you remember, there's Kohl's. And the Kohl's brand, they were like, we want to be Kohl's because
Yeah.
the Santa's telling them where to get cheaper toys. And instead of being angry, they're like, oh, people like us because they're coming up and they're saying, oh, thank you so much for saving me money. And that's where they're like, oh, Kohl's cares. And now it's like Honda. Like Honda has a helpful Honda thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy. It's hard to buy like this public. What's what I'm looking for? Like people like being like, oh, you're a good company. Like the feeling that your company's good, even though it's still a conglomerate, and they don't really care about gays as much as I don't really care about. As long as you have money in your pocket, that's all I care about.
Right.
But you can't buy goodwill, and so they're trying to, in effect, buy it with all these small, little strategic, little bullshit things. That, and it's working. I think so.
I mean, I'm not mad at it or anything like that. Like I see it, I'm like, that's cool, but at the same time, yes, it's uncomfortable. But like the reaction from bigots to this is like the angering part, but whatever, it's always gonna be there. What I do, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot. Never mind. I don't remember, so you can't look at me like that.
Question number 1.
Oh, we're going right into them.
Going right into it.
Yeah, well, yes.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry. It just popped into my head.
We're not.
There is this article that came out about like, okay, well, which companies actually do care and are like donating to charity based off of what you buy of their like pride stuff, and so they have a huge list of like this company is donating 100% of the like proceeds, but then there are some companies like I think it was like Disney or something that was like we're donating like 5% of the sales up to like $50,000, and I'm like, really, Disney? That's like all you're gonna do is $50,000?
I don't remember if it was Shake Shack, but I saw
They
someone
give more to Trump's campaign.
that was donating
By a lot.
$1 for every whatever the item was, and it was like a $3 or $4 item.
That sounds like
that's really good.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds like Shake Shack. I think
that's a significant contribution.
Yeah,
Right.
like Shake Shack it may or may not be ridiculous, but if they're like actually giving, then and they care, then that's good for them. They should find a way to like make it more interesting to people.
I think like H&M is one of the ones that was like giving everything.
Postmates is donating to the ACLU, which I don't really even know what that is, but
American Civil Liberties.
Liberty.
Union?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like that. It just doesn't sound gay enough. But they have like pictures of rainbow drinks and rainbow cake, and if you order cake, then they donate. They're like, order cake, we donate to the ACLU. How much? I don't know.
Right.
But it's weird. I don't know. Like I guess it's better than what it was like when I was growing up.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely a lot better
I
than
don't
like
like it.
Chick-fil-A. Like, if you're gonna take a stance as a company, then it's better, I think, to go further in the pride direction than to not.
To be fair to Chick-fil-A, they didn't really do anything in terms of like try to. I mean, they put money towards causes that are anti-gay, and that's bad. But they didn't like go out and try to. They were correct in that they never treated any gay people poorly.
No,
they don't discriminate against
But the company's
just wanna take the
president
rights
did
away.
come out and make a statement, and that was the big thing. Is that he's like, oh, we're a company that we don't believe gays should be like they made
but in retaliation to people finding out what they gave money to.
But
or in response,
if they
not
knew someone
retaliation.
was gay when they were interviewing them, would they have a bias against them?
That's a good
Because
question.
that's shitty.
But it seems like gay people work for them and they don't. So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, like that
just
that's what
seems
came
to
out
me
from
if
the
you're
whole
a
thing.
big publicly traded company, why get involved? Like all I care about is that you buy my goddamn food and you put it in your greasy mouth and give me more money. Like why would I get involved with?
Because they can do tax deductions, but I thought the money
But there's
came
tons
from
of
the
charities.
CEO.
There's tons of charities you can go to. Big
Yeah,
Big
no,
Brothers, Big Sisters, slam dunk, you're gonna look great.
Yeah,
Boom.
no, I think it's a stupid thing. They should at least try to hide it if they're trying to protect their business. I don't think they should be donating that money in the first place to organizations that are trying to take rights away from people. Like, that's just kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah,
in my mind.
you're taking a company that the whole goal of the company is food and commerce, and you're like, well, I'm going to put some money into it has nothing to do with what the goal of your company. Your company's about food. And
Well,
getting
yeah,
in
but like
people's
all
mouths.
there are only so many charities. I mean, they could send food to Africa. They could help the homeless.
Well,
Start a
but
food
the thing,
shelter
why do they have
situation.
to put? I would prefer they didn't spend any money on charities. Chick-fil-A, don't give any money to anybody except your employees. Pay your fucking employees more. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're like a McDonald's though, and they're underpaying. I feel weird that I'm defending Chick-fil-A right now.
Yeah, man.
Because
You're like, less gay things, more Chick-fil-A.
Well, no, but it's like I would prefer companies didn't do either of these things.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, Chick-fil-A seems to run their company just fine. It doesn't seem to be impact. I mean, I don't know, but from everything nothing as far as I saw, and I paid pretty close attention to this when it blew up. It seemed like Chick-fil-A really didn't do anything business-wise that was a problem. It was this donation that was a problem, which I take issue with. But I can separate those two things. I'm not going to go to Chick-fil-A because I know that money will then potentially be funneled in there. I'm also a vegetarian, so I don't have a reason to go to Chick-fil-A.
But that is business. It's still connected. Like you're saying they didn't do anything business-wise. I'm like, they did. They spent financial business money.
I'm not sure they did, though.
These...
I remember it being like the owner's money that he
personally
donated.
If it's the owner's separate money, then yeah, I don't remember
that.
It's still like, it's also at the end of the day, like now if you're the head of this publicly traded company, everything you do is under scrutiny, though.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is...
So if you cheat on your wife or you go to Thailand and do some weird fucked up shit...
Yeah,
like,
no, that's true.
Still going to look bad on the publicly traded company.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like, if you're going to do something that's going to look bad, you should be aware of that and try to hide it at least. Like, just, make the donation anonymously.
Right.
I'd like to just add that I'm not against it. I just think it's, like, a bit surreal and weird to see it. Well, but I'm happy that any company that is doing it, that is giving back to, the gay community or whatever, like in charities or whatever, like, great for you. It's the companies like Nike who don't really like have a plan for it. Like they're creating these like pride shoes, but they're not donating to anyone, or at least they haven't stated that they're gonna do it or anything like that. Like all these other companies have, but like when it's like that, where they're like actively making money off of
well, it feels like it feels like thing. It feels to me, and I say this with full knowledge and support and belief that it's about who you love and not who you fuck. But it feels like when I get an email from Google saying, check out these pride stories, it's like, hey, I know who you fuck and I'm cool with it, and I got some information for you that you're gonna like. Talk to your Google speaker, and we'll tell you some other happy gay fuck stories. It's like that's what it feels like to me.
With the targeting, that's weird about it.
Yeah, it's like this is my personal life. My opinion has always been like, just stay out of it. This is like who I'm in love with, who I want to have sex with. That is my business. I say, as I have a podcast where we pretty much talk about everything that we do, and are not, and are open. And I'm fine with being open, but it's like, it's Google, and I keep thinking of Google because they did this last year too, but I keep thinking of them, but it's, it was on Postmates, it's on Target does a bunch of stuff. Target's interesting too. Well, that's a whole other story. Target takes everybody's side, but it's like, that's my life, and you don't have to like it or not. You can like it, not like it, whatever. It doesn't matter, but like, just don't. You can stay out of it. Like, it's my business who I'm in love with.
That's why I don't post anything political on my Facebook, because that's how they get you.
That's why I don't post anything on my Facebook.
Yeah, because they'll get you.
They'll get you. Yeah.
So questions.
Yeah, we're going to just go right into questions. We were going to do that, and then we talked about this. That's my fault. But, we had a little...
I guess it's my fault, because I said Happy Pride. I started it all.
Yes, blame Erica.
Erica, who is now your personal assistant on Bank of America and no longer a human being.
Yeah.
That's me.
The robots are coming for us all, and they got her first.
I'm a personal digital assistant now.
Yeah,
I'm like Alexa.
Oh, good thing I turned that off. That scared me for a second.
Bank of America has a robot. Its name is Erica. It can help you with all your financial needs.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, wow.
And this is no diss
I don't
to the
bank with
name
them,
Erica, but it's a
so.
bad name for a personal assistant.
It's way too common.
Yeah, and it's also like it's not. Alexa is a 3-syllable name. I guess Erica
is
is
as
too,
well.
but it's a 3-syllable name and it has sounds in it that don't tend to show up with. And this is perhaps not a problem for Bank of America because it doesn't have a smart speaker yet.
But you see what they did? They named it Erica America.
Oh, that's our combined name is Ad America.
Ad America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, that's probably why they
So
did
when
it.
we have our advertising firm, because you're a woman, you have to do that at some point in your life. Be an
So what's the
advertising executive.
question?
I was just saying that I'm no longer a person. I'm a robot. But I will not.
I don't
read
think
the
you've ever been a
question.
person.
Oh, thanks.
But for those of you who have questions other than the people who wrote in today,
Where's this
509
accent coming from?
is the phone number, and you can call and text it. You could also go to awkward.email, send in your questions there, anonymously or not. We'll look forward to it.
This one comes from Vilda, who's written to us before. She's a 16-year-old female.
Yes, hopefully that's still the case. I was just going based on
Maybe she's 18
episode
now, who
192. Yeah, she could. Well, it would probably be 17 based on the timeline. But Vilda, correct us if we're wrong.
I'm sorry for emailing you this late. It's like 2:30 a.m., but I drank way too much coffee way too late, so here it comes. I've almost finished my first year at a new level of school. I think it's similar to high school in America, but I don't know. Your school system is super weird. But anyways, I'm at this school, which is like one of the, if not the most difficult high schools to get into. So everyone's super geeky and obsessed with doing well in school. At least almost everyone is. Everyone's also socially awkward, me too, but pretty good at just talking a lot, and I'm pretty outgoing, so it's fine. And no one nice seems interested in having a social life, which I do. This one guy I kind of made friends with suddenly got a crush on this girl, and now they're like hanging out all the time, which could be fine, but she's the kind of gal who pitches up her voice and basically screams every time she talks to a guy. It's super annoying, and I have a lot of headaches, so I don't feel like hanging out with them. Plus, they play a lot of card games, and 1, I hate card games. 2, the girl screams even more when they play card games. This one girl, who is actually kind of nice and interested in being social, has had the same problem as me and is now changing schools because of this. I don't really want to change schools because it's only 2 more years, and this is the school in town with the best teachers, most recognition, and they have the classes I want. So my question is, how do I make friends or make this social thing better? Hope you, Erica, Richard, and guests are good. By the way, Richard pronounced his own last name. It was so satisfying. I don't know why, but it was kind of beautiful. Can he do that again on the next episode?
What?
Is it Spanish or something? By the way, I think the most logical explanation for your car mess is that you or Richard must have been looking for something, made a mess, and then just forgotten about it.
No.
Okay, that's it.
We already know the answer.
I'm going to bed now. Sorry for potential typos. Have a nice day, afternoon, night. Bye.
Okay, why do you hate card games, Vilda?
This was all so weird. It was like she was just describing a situation, and suddenly she's like, I don't want to have to change schools over this. And I'm like, what are you going to change schools over? People playing cards and being loud?
I know this is about her wanting to make friends, but I think we're going to need to, like, go through this again.
Like,
'cause
unpack it?
There's a lot. Yeah, I moved around a lot, so I'm not sure I tracked that whole
That's probably
thing.
because she wrote it at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, this one, we
All high
unfortunately,
on coffee.
my fault, had to hold this over, and I don't remember. Because this one's a little older and I don't remember the details. But yeah, Vilda, why do you hate card games? I want to no, I'm 100% serious. I want to understand.
That's a broad statement, hating all card games.
Yeah, it's not quite like hating music.
Maybe she just
Or
doesn't
not
like
liking
thin
music,
cardboard.
What the card? What?
But there are different like qualities
But-
of cards.
As someone who enjoys
I don't know.
making
We're better
card
than
games more than playing them, I wanna figure out if I can change you. So tell me
Jesus.
tell me why you hate them, and I want to see if I can come up with a card game you'd actually
Do
like.
you just hate all games?
And then if
Oh,
you
that's so
have this
sad.
unique card game that was created on your behalf, you can take it to these garbage people that you don't want to be friends with, and maybe turn everything around. But
Don't say garbage people.
yeah, because DeFranco.
Mm-hmm.
I like saying it as a joke because of DeFranco.
Mm.
But Erica, walk us through what you just read.
Okay, so she's at a new school. The school's really good. Most of the people who are there just like studying and are super nerdy and they're socially awkward. She is too, but she's pretty good at talking and she does have a social life. She kind of made friends with one guy, but then he got a crush on a girl who's really annoying because she has this high-pitched voice. They hang out all the time because she has a crush on her. He has a crush on her and they play card games. And now Vilda doesn't want to hang out with the guy because the guy is always playing card games with the girl and the girl has a very loud voice. one of her other friends changed schools because we think of the girl with the loud voice, and now she's like,
But
can I
where's
make friends?
Where's the part about her having trouble with making she just doesn't like anybody? Is that the
No, she said that no one there is social because they're all just preoccupied with being nerdy. So like she's pretty good at being social even though she's nerdy, but there's not a lot of people to be social with because they all just want to study all the time.
And there aren't people outside of school, and she can go to like a study group and meet people that way?
I'm assuming they all just study in the study group and they're not fun. And she said
Well,
the only other
needs to bring her
girl,
card game.
but the only other girl who was nice and wanted to be social with her is now at a different school. So maybe there's not really a lot of kids to hang out that are not at this current school because the other one might be far away. Because otherwise she could just keep hanging out with the girl who's nice. But if the school is far away, then I could see why that'd be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just time to like spend your time catfishing people until you are somewhere where more people are.
I don't know. I mean, aren't there clubs at schools? Like, join a club.
Yeah, don't you have extracurriculars? Like, even if you're super nerdy, you still have to do, like, I mean, I did juggling.
Yeah, the hard part is I'm not sure
That's
what...
something.
Like, that's kind of as nerdy as you can get with your extracurricular, but you can't talk to people while
you
you're
played
juggling.
the piano, too. Don't
Yeah,
leave
but you
that
can't talk to people
Yeah, that's
while
not
you're
a
playing the
social
piano.
You talk to the piano.
No.
Your friend could be the piano.
But, like, everyone in Juggle Club would be juggling and talking.
Juggle club.
This high school?
That's
Yep.
lovely.
No, there's tons of like. This sounds like clubs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
Play
gotta
wall
do stuff
ball.
to get into college. That
Wall
is not
ball?
just...
Yeah.
What's
You never-
wall
You
ball?
never played wall ball?
Oh, it's great.
Like handball?
You throw,
It's like handball,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is like handball.
Is it with the tiny blue ball or the big red ball?
It can be with a tennis ball.
We
Ours
used,
was a
we used to use a
medium-sized
tennis
red
ball.
ball.
And then if you like, you
There's
hit
like a
it.
blue ball.
I forget what the rules were. If you caught it, but then you dropped it, you'd had to run to the wall, and touch it,
the wall.
or you'd get hit.
Before the next
Mhm.
ball
Before the
hits
next ball hit the wall.
Yeah,
yeah.
Was
yeah,
the
it's
ball,
the same.
like,
I
about
think it's the
this
same as
big?
handball.
No, it's like a tennis ball size.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I
if you
played the
weren't
one
able-
with the red ball like this.
Yeah.
Oh
I think
no, I
handball-
had the big balls. They were like this big, but that was
Oh
like
yeah,
in
that's true. I
elementary.
have played it with a dodgeball.
that was like
before.
in elementary.
But handballs,
then
I like it better with handball.
the
except
little
that if you
blue
get hit
ball
Yeah.
by the ball.
is
That's not
what-
fun.
came
blue
in
balls
like in
hurt
high
a
school and
little bit.
college and stuff.
Remember, Rich, I was telling you that story about how I skinned my knee and it hurt a lot and it wasn't a good story, but then someone pushed me down.
Doesn't sound like it.
It was just funny that we brought up the wall ball came up because I had skinned my knee once when I was a kid, and then someone got mad at me and pushed me down so I would skin my knee over the scab
Oh,
again,
yes,
and
I
it
do
took
remember this
forever to
intriguing
heal.
story, yeah.
Yeah, because I skinned my knee recently when we were doing
Yeah.
Laser Fit, and it was when we were playing wall ball.
I think the answer is that she needs to start her own club. Because I think that
that's a good idea.
if she starts something that she likes doing,
Yes. I used it.
yes, queen.
Yes, Quant.
If like, let's say Vilda that you like tennis, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Then at the very least, you're gonna have something in common with the people you're hanging out with because it's the thing you like to do. So if they want to do it, then
Golly,
boom.
Erica, what did you do? You moved to Los Angeles. Did you start at a tennis club?
I didn't. There was already a tennis center.
No, you started at. No,
Oh.
you just started a.
Yeah, but I didn't like tennis,
But
so
you
it's a little bit
You
different.
came to love it, and then like are okay with it.
Right, but I did get all the friends from it. We just don't play tennis
Ooh,
with them
all of the
anymore.
friends.
Yeah, they all left.
Well, I would say I'm friends with almost everyone who used to
For
be in our
reasons.
tennis class.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just an example. If you like photography, then you could have a photography club. But pick the thing that you like to do.
I think
And
she
then,
should go to the gym.
Oh,
She should work out more.
get swole.
She should get yoked, juicy as fuck. No, but you
That's
should
how
go to the gym.
that's how people start fucking too. Like,
Yeah, no.
just pick up everybody
Yeah.
at the gym.
But no, you go to the
You're
gym,
disgusting.
all
so
that
you know they
anger,
don't like you no matter what.
Yeah, but if you go to the gym, all that anger and annoyance,
Mhm.
all the guys that I've ever known that have been like, or big guys that work out a lot, they have so much patience.
but she's a nerdy girl.
Yeah, and she could take up kickboxing.
You could still be a
she
nerdy
could take
girl
up
and go to the gym.
punchboxing.
Well, she could, but having been a nerdy high school girl, that's definitely not what I would have wanted to do to make friends because under no circumstance would I have wanted anyone to see me exercise. So exercising more than I already had to was very unappealing,
Yeah.
and that would not be a bonding thing for me. That'd be I need to go hide.
I gotta say, I wouldn't want to be seen exercising if I were you either. What? No, you
Wow.
get so tired when you run. You're fine on the other stuff, but the running, it's like you're gonna die. You seem like you're
I've
gonna
gotten
die.
better at running.
I know you've gotten better, but I mean, like,
We haven't run together for like 3
Just
years.
exercise in your basement.
But
you
are
don't
you-
have to exercise to meet people.
how long does the
the exercise
5K
will
take
help you long term. You'll feel better about yourself. Your confidence will get up.
Probably like 31, 32 minutes.
So that's the same as where we were at before.
But I feel like my endurance is better. I don't get so out of breath.
Well, back in the day, at least.
Anyways,
I think you should just stop
I'm
being
just-
a judgy McJudgerson.
I think
it's fine. It's exercise. You're not supposed to look good.
I think it's
It's-
more of a
she
problem
just
that
turns bright
yes,
red.
I was gonna say that's the problem is that any exercise I do, no whether I'm tired or not or out of breath, my face turns super red.
And you're sweating, so it's like it's like you're this it's too dark to be a tomato, and it's and it's wet. It's being sprinkled on.
But the weird thing is, I feel like
Something
I
weird
sweat
about it.
less than other people whose faces don't change at all. Like I know people who get super sweaty and their face is still completely white, and
I'm
like
kind of like that.
like
all-
me.
Yeah, actually, you're more than me. My face
don't
does
get
turn a
that
little
sweaty?
red.
I get very sweaty.
no, I've seen
No,
people
you
get
don't-
way sweatier than
Richard,
you do.
I get very sweaty.
I don't get drippy sweaty, but I definitely like everything just
You have
like
a gloss
pops
coat.
out.
It's like you've
I'm
been basted
talking
with
about
corn
people
syrup.
whose shirt looks like it's completely wet.
Yeah.
Hello.
You don't do that.
But I get cartoon characters on my shirt
Yeah.
like Mickey Mouse.
Anyways, I will go for a hike
changes.
and I'll like have walked uphill for like 5 minutes and I'm like completely fine having a conversation. My face is bright red. So yeah, I would not have enjoyed that as a high schooler. That would not have been a good bonding experience.
Well, I guess
And was
whatever
kind of
you're
fat.
into, the Big Bang Theory,
No. No.
the Jeffersons, like whatever you like,
Jefferson?
like make a club out
Yeah,
of it.
do it.
Yeah. Unless it's like the Cosby Show while
And if
we're on that.
for some reason
Hey, you know
no
what? If
one
that brings you together,
I
for
just
some-
don't
You
think
do.
it will function well.
if for some reason no one at your school likes the interest that you have, then just offer to teach it to them, and then you'll instantly make friends because they'll be like, "Oh, she's cool. She's showing me how to do this thing."
You tell them how to be friends with you.
Yeah,
Oh.
you
show
make the
them
rules.
ropes. Yeah.
And-
Don't- you if they say I want to be a nerd, you say you don't want to be a fucking nerd. You want to be my friend. It's better. You're gonna do it, and you don't have a choice in the matter.
and if you talk like that, it's better if you're swole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people take you seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protein.
Sure.
Whey protein packets.
Cooking
Show off your
club.
muscles.
Cooking club is a great idea.
Because that's a life skill they should learn before going off
And
to
you
college.
probably
yeah.
you probably have some sort of like cultural whatever you are. You could be like, oh, if you're Uzbeki, you have some sort
Yeah,
of Uzbeki
and then
food
everyone
you
can bring a
teach.
recipe. They can
Yeah.
show the other person. That's so nerdy.
Well, also
That's pretty nerdy.
Also, it's a great way to learn to bake because, like, when I was an intern, I would bake for work because it was I didn't want to eat like 14 cupcakes. I mean, I did want to eat 14 cupcakes, but I'm not gonna, do that usually. And I would bake it for the office because then they would get fat off of it, and I could have one or two. And so it's nice because like then you get all the desserts, and someone else eats the excess desserts, so you don't have to gain all that weight and get unhealthy. And you learn how to bake. So when you watch Nailed It on Netflix, you can say, yeah, I could do better,
Right.
which I do every episode.
Start a club.
Except one episode, someone definitely could have done better. Did better than I
Yeah.
could
Start a
have
club, and it is a
Next.
Spanish name.
Oh, right.
done. Yeah.
Do you want to say it
again?
for her?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck it up now. I'm put on the spot. Cárdenas. See, I
You
fucked it
gotta
up.
do the whole thing with Richard as well.
Richard Cárdenas. See,
That
I'm
was-
like
no,
fucking
that
it
was
up.
good.
Better than us.
That
Yeah.
was good. It's good, I think, when you go from one to the other. Okay.
All right then.
Good luck, Vilda.
Yes. Good luck. Good luck to you. All right. Next question comes from anonymous. This is okay. I never do one night stands, but I did last night. Oh, this is a woman, by the way. I did last night with a cowboy I met at a bar.
Ooh.
He looked
Odd.
average, I guess, and older than me. I'm 24, but put me in a trance. Like, I don't know why I got hooked and took him back to mine. I woke up to breakfast and then he left. I'm assuming he stayed to eat it with you, though. But the thing is, I want to see him again. I know it was one night only, but I know the hotel he's at for the next 2 weeks. Should I go find him? He lives in Omaha. Okay, we can go stalk him now. And I can drive there in like 2 hours, so it would only kind of be an LDR. Am I just gonna get my heart broken though? Yeah.
No, not necessarily. I mean, this could just be a fling.
If it's a move, if she goes after him,
I mean, he's in town
just
for
gonna get
2
her heart
weeks.
broken.
Yeah, hang out with him while he's in town and see how that goes.
And,
before-
like,
Yeah, I'm sure he'd fuck you again.
It's not
He made you breakfast.
automatic just because you enjoyed this one night that you're gonna enjoy the rest of the 2 weeks. Like, find out. Call the hotel and be like, connect me to Cowboy Bebop, and
Yeah.
Get me in there, and then you can talk.
Get
to
me
him.
in there, you guys.
There wasn't ever really a Cowboy Bebop though.
I don't know.
Or maybe that's him. Maybe that's he was. That
I don't know any
anime was
cowboy
based on him
names.
somehow.
Merle, Cowboy Merle.
Merle?
But anyway,
Gene Autry, there you go.
I
That's
think.
Spike Spiegel was the lead character.
But girl, I totally get it. A cowboy with that accent? Oh,
yeah, Spike Spiegel.
Really?
it does it for me. Yeah, I love
Really?
a nice
God,
southern
I wish
drawl.
I never knew
I
that.
said hot, but I was kidding. I've never met a cowboy.
I
and wanted to fuck him.
am
don't know
so-
if I
Because
would
they
fuck a
can be.
cowboy.
They have
I
a
can't
very
believe I
like
didn't
southern
know this.
charm is so nice.
Oh no.
I like it.
I mean, I don't.
Love is love, guys. Love is love.
Thank you.
It's not. I don't. It's not the South that I mean, that's a complicated thing to talk about, but it's not Southern speech that I have a problem with. The whole cowboy thing is just so unappealing to me.
That's fine.
Your dad's a cowboy, Richard.
He's not a cowboy.
What?
He dresses like a cowboy.
No, he doesn't. When does he dress like a? He likes the
belt
music.
buckles,
He
likes
doesn't
a hat.
dress like.
I saw a
When
hat
have you seen him in a hat?
at the quinceañera.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's never worn a hat before. You saw my family, maybe, but not
No.
my dad. He never has worn a hat.
When he met me but refused to talk to me
Nope.
during that, he
You're
did not have a hat
completely
on,
wrong.
but he had a hat on before.
No, he didn't.
He took it
I
off.
have cowboy boots.
The man that I grew up with, you're telling me that I'm wrong about. Okay.
Yes, I know your father better than you.
And I
Right.
have a cowboy hat.
All right.
Well, Jacob's father actually does dress like a cowboy, and Jacob would confirm that because he always has a hat and he always has cowboy boots.
You wanna
even when
fuck
he goes
Jacob's
to the
dad
beach.
now?
So yeah,
Maybe.
for
I've never
me-
met him.
No, you don't.
No, definitely not. Mm-mm.
Oh.
You set yourself up for that one, so
no,
whatever.
I got over Seth MacFarlane and now this.
Seth
You
MacFarlane
want me to take
is so
pictures
sexy
if
to
I meet
me.
cowboys in Montana?
No, I don't want a Montana cowboy. I want a Southern cowboy.
But there's so many cowboys in Montana.
I don't want them.
Okay.
I mean, they're gonna be better.
Beggars can't be choosers.
The West Cowboys are gonna be better than the Southern Cowboys.
That's
they're
true,
legit,
but-
because
Because they're actually
ranches.
they're still doing it. The Southern Cowboys are just sound. They have the sound that you like, but they're like they're the head of a car sales shop. Like they don't really have those.
Okay, well that's fine then.
Where I grew up, I grew up with a lot of like guys who were their jobs. They were retired, and they were retired cowboys. Like that's where their jobs. And then one guy became a game warden, and like he's basically still a cowboy as a game warden.
I
Right.
think this is just your like Tu Wong Fu fantasy.
What? No. Like
You want one of the boys.
like
You want Billy Ray.
yeah, Billy Ray. Billy
Mm.
Ray, Billy Ray.
That's
Good movie.
okay with
It's
me.
a good movie.
It's
That's
a good
okay with
movie.
me
Phenomenal
though.
movie.
He was charming and
That's what I'm
and
talking about.
attractive. But yeah, it's like he's dressed in a cowboy because he grew up as a cowboy because he grew up there. I mean like the ones that are like
Are you
into
Chichi
it.
Rodriguez in this scenario?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
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 Not everything I touch turns into caca.
Okay.
John Leguizamo.
So we all
most
agree
underrated.
she should hang out with him while he's in town.
No.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about the LDR.
I mean,
Yeah, stop
I
planning.
mean, I guess I'm okay with her hanging out, but I like if you think you're gonna get a relationship out of this, I would be I wouldn't go into it like if you're gonna be disappointed that you don't get a relationship out of it after hanging out with him for 2 weeks, I would maybe not do it. Like it's
Yeah,
you're gonna
but
setting
there's
yourself up for
also something
heartbreak.
to say for like killing that initial like lust because
Oh, yeah.
she might think right now that she wants to be in a relationship more if she doesn't see him. And
Yeah.
see him might actually make her be like, oh, whatever, I can just have some fun with
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I think seeing him one more time is a way to test the waters, and you can see. I would just be careful going forward, but also it's like he is not expecting you, so don't be weird about it when you go to the hotel.
Wait, by the time this
No,
airs,
I
he
don't-
might be gone.
Right.
I send them stuff in advance.
But didn't you tell her not to hang out with him?
No. After the show's over,
Oh, okay.
I will send them something.
I see.
I didn't have time to do that this week, but sometimes I will respond early.
I don't-
But I don't do that if I unless I know what I think everyone's going to. Unless I
Okay.
think I know what everyone's going to say.
I mean, if it were me personally, I think if someone showed up to my hotel
Mm-hmm.
without me knowing, I would be a little creeped out by it. I would much rather get a call.
Yeah, and you can leave a message at a hotel. And
Yeah.
say, like, hey, call me. So that might
Definitely
be a way to go there. I mean, he did tell her where he did tell her where
and like
he's staying.
I think that this
So-
one, she might just feel different about this one because I don't remember if she said she'd never hooked up before or that she doesn't really do it. But like, he made her breakfast in the morning.
Mhm.
Like, that's sweet.
Yeah. But it's also like, if you want to have a one night stand and you want to be classy about it, you could do that and say like, this was just a one night thing. I mean, like, I think people should be able to have one night stands without strings attached. And I don't know if they actually talked about it because it doesn't really say, as far as I can tell, or remember. But like if you're gonna treat people well, I mean, that's kind of the problem. It's like with one night stands, if you treat people shitty, then it's more likely going to guarantee that it remains a one night stand. But you should still be nice to people, and that's a kind thing to do. Like,
I will say I tried to have a one night stand once, and then when it wasn't a one night stand, that was off putting to me. Like, it was kind of like, no, the whole reason that I slept with you the night I met you was because I didn't intend on seeing you again. And I think that that's normally more of a like male mentality, but guys think that if girls sleep with them, then they're really into them. And I was like, no, I would have hung out with you for a while and like then slept with you. You didn't really get that. So then I felt bad because I was like, oh, well, I never said I'm only going to see you for this one night. So then I ended up hanging out with him like 3 more times, which was just a terrible idea because every time I saw him, I didn't feel like I could break it off because I was like, there's nothing to break off. I never said I was going to date him. Like after the first time, I was like, oh, I'll hang out with him as a friend. Right. But then he thought it was more because we already had sex and it was like this whole thing.
Is this 3-hour blowjob?
Yeah, it was only 2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours. I'm sorry.
And so from the first time we had sex to when I broke it off, it took 2 months. And so I'm just saying this because...
When did this happen? I don't remember.
We would make fun of her that he kept coming back because she gave a 2-hour blowjob.
It wasn't really a 2-hour blowjob.
Was this the one you went on a hike with?
Yeah. Okay. This is just what we call him. It was 2 hours of sex stuff involving a blowjob.
We've just had
multiple blowjobs.
Like
many weird stories. I think they're like starting to fall out of my head a little.
But it wasn't like I was blowing him for 2 hours. It was like we were in bed together for 2 hours.
Yeah, we get it. There's probably an old episode that talks about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so his nickname is 2-hour blowjob. But the point is that's all he was supposed to be. He was just supposed to be a 2-hour blowjob. And then I had to go have pancakes with him to break up with him all the way in Torrance. But he bought me the pancakes, and I was like, oh, I can't break up with him because now he thinks I'm really into him.
Now I remember all of it. So in that part, I remember talking to you.
Anyways,
about a lot.
The point is that if this dude is like me, and he was like, I'm just going to have a fun night with this person. I'm going to treat them well and be nice, he might not want to continue seeing you because then he's just going to feel bad and be like, I don't really want a relationship.
So at least give him an easy out, I would say, in that case.
And if you take him out to pancakes, let him pay for them so he can break up with you.
Go for it. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah. And you might find love. Aw.
Yeah. One night stands are interesting. I feel I don't think I ever had one where anyone was that nice to me. I think. Well, I guess the guy I dated before you, Richard, we were supposed to have was like a one afternoon stand, but we ended up talking for 3 hours and then he had to go to a party. So we never got to the sex part, so he had to come back later. But then we had a relationship, and it was both good and bad, like concurrently. Do we have does anyone else have like really bad one night stand stories?
Does this mean I'll never be able to say I had a one night stand?
I mean, I've never really had a one night stand. I've always had like first dates that turn into that.
But then do you see the person again?
No, not
that
really.
Still counts.
But they're not like...
It's not like you met them at a bar, went home with them.
It was a date. Like it meant to be. It started out as a date, and then it like got escalated.
That has never happened to me actually. I like when you were saying that, I thought you meant the opposite, and then I realized that makes sense, and I've just never experienced that because I never thought about like if I fuck people, like I go in, everything's premeditated. I know when it's going to be a one night. I guess with the exception of we said Carlos's name before. So Carlos, the guy I dated before Richard, he, I mean, that was more of a, if we had sex though, that's all it would have been, probably. I guess I've had like 2 night stands. I've repeated with a couple of people.
Well, mine was premeditated. He just didn't know it. Because as a girl, you can't say, hey, let's meet at a bar and then we'll go fuck. Like, you can't do that.
You can, though.
Yeah,
Because that's the thing. You can kind of say whatever you want, and the guy will be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, didn't you
No,
learn
no,
anything
I'm
from
saying
when
I
we
can't
had you
do
hit
that
on
because-
people when I paid you and
No,
the
that's
other
that.
girls to
I
hit
mean
on
the
people,
opposite. I
which
mean,
I really want to do again, but we're all coupled
I know
now.
people who are single. We can do it.
Yeah, we got to do that. It was so
My
fun.
point is not that. It's that if you say that, the dude will want to fuck you.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to meet up with someone and be like, actually, I'm not really feeling it, and then have put it out there
Oh.
because
But I
then
think you
you're
could
like,
even I think you could even do that though. Like you could put that out there, be like, "Hey, I just want to kind of like meet up and I'm really interested in just having sex, but also if I'm not feeling it, I want you to be okay with that." Like I don't think a guy
yeah,
would
but then
be
the
like,
whole
"No."
date would be skewed, or like the whole evening would be skewed by the fact that he already knows I want to have sex with him, and that would probably make him unappealing to me and make me not want to have sex with him.
Well, yeah, because he might show up being like, okay, it's mine. It's mine to lose.
Exactly.
So
there
he's
is
just
this-
gonna be like,
Exactly.
he's
There
gonna
is-
get in his head.
There is this game. I mean, I haven't been single for a long time, but like when I was on dating apps and stuff like that, like there was this kind of like game that you would play with each other. And I don't know if it's the same with straight people, but like we would kind of like do this like flirting back and forth, kind of understanding like this is what we're after is sex. And we'd set up like the meeting or whatever. And we'd know going into it, like we did all this stuff just so that we know we're going to have sex. Is that a thing that straight people do?
Anyone who tried to do that with me, I instantly thought was sleazy.
Well, I don't
would-
know what you mean.
it would
By set
be
up a
like-
game.
We would like do like it would be like back and forth flirting, like messaging back and forth or whatever for maybe like a day or two or whatever before we would be like, yeah, let's meet up. And it would always be like, yeah, come over to my place. And it
Right.
would never be like,
No.
let's go to a restaurant and have dinner or whatever. It'd be like, come watch a movie at my place or something. And
Right,
that,
which I would never
No,
do with someone that
no.
I've never met.
Yeah,
Straight-
it's
straight
very
guys do
different for
that,
women,
but, like,
I think.
It
Yeah, that's what I'm
doesn't
saying,
work.
like,
It
I don't-
doesn't
I
work.
don't know that it would
straight
happen.
guys
It
do
works
that,
for gay guys, but that's it.
instantly, if a straight guy would try to do that, I would know. Oh, they're gonna try to fuck me no matter what. I'm not getting into that situation.
Yeah, although some women must go for it either out of like
Oh, people are dangerous all the time. Yeah, like girls definitely do that, but it's not a situation that I think is a safe situation to go into.
just so I know we're on the same page, that girls definitely do that, as in they come over to my place and then they go over there and fuck the guy.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but what he's saying is that they meet up somewhere else first, and then he's like, okay,
Yeah.
we should go back to my place.
Oh no.
Like,
It would be just
Yeah.
like
Oh, really?
come over to my place. Let's
Oh, yeah.
watch a movie.
That's
and
like
and it was like
in the
completely
straight
understood
world,
that
no
this
one
is-
really does.
Tons
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do it.
No,
like,
they totally message
it
you
doesn't
and
work.
try.
Though. It never.
But
works.
they do it in a like.
Well,
if-
it must work sometimes if they keep doing it.
Well, but it's the shotgun effect. Like, yeah, it'll work. Out of the 20 girls who think you're a scumbag, and now telling their friends that you're a scumbag, maybe 2. But you're you're playing the short
And
game.
you
You're not
still
playing the long game.
generally have to at least like have something in common. Like for the girls that it's worked
Yeah,
with, it's
and-
not like, hey, come over and fuck me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we're not like messaging each other saying, like, "Hey, how are you? Let's fuck." It's that putting that groundwork in there of like, okay, now I'm comfortable enough with you that I think that like we have this stuff in common. We've laughed at these same things. It kind of builds this like connection that makes me comfortable enough to be like, yeah, I will sleep with you on the first meeting.
Yeah, you've said enough good things that I can put my dick in your mouth
Yes.
comfortably.
Yes.
Right.
But the problem with straight guys is they don't have the patience for that. So, like,
Exactly.
they'll start
So-
it. They're like, oh yeah, it's totally cool. I like to cook too. Yeah. So what are you doing tonight? It's like the same day sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost
Yeah.
always.
I think that's
any
the
straight
interesting
guy
thing.
that's like what you're describing is almost always super sleazy. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, I just want to fuck someone and I'm totally a nice guy. Like
I think that's the nice thing. Well, maybe this nice isn't the word, but with gay stuff, it's like you could be the raper or the rapee, so you have to kind of like, you still want to fuck, but you don't want to be one of those people. So you have to like, you're willing to put in the time to demonstrate that you're not a raper, and find out the other person's not going to be the raper either.
Yeah,
Well,
and
here's
like
But with
and
straight ones, it's just like the guy is the raper.
regardless of sexuality, men are creepy. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what's gonna happen. Even in the gay world, you don't know if you're gonna like go to some guy's house and he's gonna be respectful or he's gonna be rapey.
Of
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you kind of gamble at that as well.
And, I mean, like, you remember that guy in Altadena whose house I went over to, and he cooked me dinner, and it was super fucking creepy. Like that was like the rapiest vibe. That wasn't from. I mean, like, I don't think he was trying to rape anybody because I got out of there just fine. But But I mean, like he showed me a video he took of some guy just jerking off in Palm Springs on vacation, like at the pool. All of a sudden, he just does it, and then he came, and then people clapped.
Right.
And that's in the video?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, he videoed it with his phone because he thought it was so weird.
No.
And so like that felt a little weird that he brought that up, but I'm like, okay, well, I like weird shit, so it went that way. But then he started showing me pictures of like ex-boyfriends who were naked and other.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Because he's like, isn't this so weird?
There was some.
I have 4 different versions of it.
Someone was fucking a horse.
I remember something about a horse.
That does sound familiar.
It was a Palm Springs hotel and a horse.
No, the horse wasn't part of the.
No, I know
video.
those were 2 different things, but they were 2 things.
Two different things.
2 things that happened on a date.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone quite far away from this question, but I think the point is that it's very possible he's just a gentleman and wanted to have a one-night stand, and so keep that in mind if you want to see him again.
Yeah, and don't jerk off his horse.
Oh.
He's a cowboy.
I don't think was it just a horse's dick? I don't remember it being bestiality, just a...
There's something about a horse. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm not going to ask the guy, though.
You probably have it written down somewhere.
It was the creepiest... I don't know why this was so creepy, but it felt like I was being lured into some sort of like ritual dungeon or something. I don't think that was the case. I'm not trying to badmouth the guy. I think he was just trying to get laid. But it was...
He takes you downstairs and there's a bunch of like well-to-do rich men.
Yeah,
and they're all wearing robes and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it just felt like whatever sex I consented to was going to be so much different than what I thought.
I mean, that's the thing.
And
if you're
I
on
also didn't
that
want to
date
fuck him in the first
he's
place.
bringing, if that's the beginning of the conversations that he's having with you, then like the actual sex is going to be far beyond what he thought was appropriate.
Yeah, and I mean, if like I was into him, then it might have been a different story. I mean, like I don't know. It's just I was very much. I met him, and those moments when you walk in the door and you're like, not gonna fuck that person. Sometimes I've kind of like pushed myself through that. I don't want to say the person's name because I don't want to offend him, because he's not a bad guy. But I've
You just didn't want to fuck him. That's cool.
and but like sometimes I've like, let's just give it a shot anyway, because I've always been, I never wanted to have a type. I don't really have a type, even though it might sound like it when I am dating Richard, and then just said I dated Carlos, but he was Filipino. So I've tried to do the spectrum. I still haven't checked a few off the list.
Try to do the spectrum.
Yeah. So we might just have to have some threesomes someday, just to check off
more of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I could get a one-night stand in.
A threesome?
Well, because you don't usually have like multiple threesome nights, right?
Right.
Like,
you could if you like the person.
But it's an easy way to have a one-night stand because you're like, we're already in a relationship, so like this isn't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, but that's not gonna end well. I feel like threesomes only would really work if it's, for example, I'm a guy. It would work if there were 2 women who I didn't know, and I was like, cool. But if I was in a relationship, and my fiance or girlfriend were like, hey, we should bring somebody else in here, I'm like, this isn't gonna end well. It's gonna end very poorly.
Well,
that's what I think.
You know yourself.
Oh, I also know I couldn't handle it. I'll be straight up and honest about it. Like, I couldn't handle 2 different women. I'd be like, this is too much.
Really?
Yeah,
I prefer one because I know what I'm doing.
What if it was a dude though?
Oh, me, another guy, and
yeah.
Well, I'm not attracted to guys.
But I mean,
yeah, but if she wants to get spit roasted,
like if you only had to focus on your woman, and then he was there and he did some stuff and like whatever,
yeah,
like that'd be less overwhelming.
You can't have your dick in every hole.
If this is a scenario where I don't know either of the 2 people, maybe when I'm in my 20s, maybe when I'm in my 20s.
Okay.
I'm in my 30s now. I'm not. I'm not.
Someone just
you're past your
send us a
adventurous
time
phase.
machine.
No, I'm not. But like, I just feel like if I have to, the first thing out of the gate, I have to not know either of them. Like, that well. I could get to know them over like a few days, but I'm not going to do that now at this stage. I'm not going to like let's go down this path.
Yeah.
Go. I'm not doing that. I would have done it earlier, but not now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like threesomes,
lost for me.
Sound fun to me, but having had them already and experienced that, it's very. I find it a lot to pay attention to. It's very distracting. Because it's like there's one dick and then there's another dick. I mean, in your case, it wouldn't be that, but
that's why it was fine. I find it
too many
entertaining
dicks.
when like straight guys are like, man, I would love to have just 2 women. And you're like, man, you don't know what you would even do.
Yeah,
It's hard. I mean, it's not hard enough, but like, you know, with one woman, you know what to do. And like you have to be intuitive. You have to like, did they like this? Can I tell they like this?
Right.
I need to change. I need to move my game up.
And then
You
there's
have
2
two
people
of them.
you don't know, and you don't know if
Yeah.
like you're reading it right.
Yeah.
I don't
or-
think it really matters because I mean, not a lot of there are at least enough straight men who don't want to eat pussy. So that it's like what do you fuck one of them, then you eat the other one out? Like, I mean, what are they hoping to get out of 2
I
women?
never
It
got
makes
that
much
too.
more
If you're a
sense.
straight guy and you don't, I mean, yeah, you could not like it. It just
Where
feels
are
like
all these people though? Because
DJ
I've
Khaled
never
is one.
met one.
DJ Khaled
I
is
know
very
they
proud about
exist.
And
it.
he's like married, right? And like
Yeah.
talks about how he
He's
does
very-
not
oh,
eat
that's
very proud of it.
that
pussy.
asshole DJ
Yeah.
who won't eat a
Or
vagina.
Khaled, or however you pronounce it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I guess
he was
maybe
in
it's
some
because I live in
movie
California.
that we saw.
But that just seems ridiculous to me. Like,
Yeah.
if you like the person and they give you pleasure, you should want to like return the favor in some
Yeah.
manner or fact. And if you don't like, if you think there's something, if for example, if he went down and he's like, oh, this is kind of weird, maybe smell or something, then that's a conversation you have. But like,
Sure.
if that's
Yeah.
not the case, he's just like that. I don't do that
I don't
because that
do
makes
it,
me
yeah.
a subordinate or something weird.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and he's
whatever
clearly
it-
nuts because he talks about himself like he's some sort of like Egyptian god.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, my woman, that's my queen, but they need to take care of their king. And you're like,
Oh.
what?
Gross.
You just
Yeah,
sound
it's
like
really- yeah,
you sound like you're not in a partnership. You're in some like weird.
Yeah.
I was
harem
almost going
situation.
to defend
Like
him when I
she's the
heard this story,
concubine or
and then I
whatever.
heard him talk.
Well, he's
And
an
it's like,
idiot.
it's like that's not because I think I think it is fair. Like if you don't like oral sex, to not have oral sex, you shouldn't have to do something. I mean, there are people who don't like intercourse. It's more probably on the gay side because butt
See,
fucking takes time.
It's weird though, because
but-
I had a girl. I was with a girl once, and
That's
like,
okay.
I went down on her like it was my job. I went like punched in, punched out, and I'm not even a big blowjob guy. I don't really like it. Doesn't really move the needle much for me. Like visually, I'm like, this is nice, but like it's been like 2 minutes. I don't care anymore. This isn't what I'm here for. But she like never would do it. She could never would go down. And then when we eventually broke up, she asked if that was the reason, and I'm like, no. But it was always weird. Like I would go down on you.
Well, did
all
you
the
ask her?
time.
Like, why didn't you ever do it?
Well, I did after we broke up because we broke up for another reason.
What did she say?
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of a princess about that." And I'm like, "That's
Ew.
fine." She totally
That's
is.
the wrong answer.
She's gay married now, married to a woman now. A few other boyfriends later, and you're like, maybe that's why.
Maybe she just
she
she
just
was
didn't
like
like it. 'cause
sort
she
of
didn't like
interested in
his.
the dick, but she didn't like it that much.
No, she didn't want to put it in her face,
Yeah.
which is fair.
I don't want to look at it.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
mean,
fair.
I think people should give it a good old college try, but just I mean, like, cause you find so many things that you like when you try stuff. Not every time. Sometimes you try something and you don't like it, and maybe you give it a couple more tries if it's not a big deal. Like I think sucking a dick is worth giving another shot. But that said, it's still like if both people agree and they're fine with whatever the blowjob relationship is, that's fine. But it shouldn't be assumed that that's okay.
Yeah.
I think.
At the same time, though, it is weak. I mean, yes, you're right. It shouldn't be assumed if it's okay. To me, it feels like it's part of the toolbox, and if you're not going to use it, that's fine. But I feel like you should be upfront about like, oh, I'm just never going to reach for that tool. Just FYI. So then the person doesn't expect it, and
Yeah.
then they're cool with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll be like,
I think
what's this
so.
person's deal? Like, they will not. I have been going down there. I've been 2-hour blowjobs, and I can't get anything on my
To
side.
be fair, he went down on me first
Okay,
in that
well,
case.
then
so
that's good.
For 2 hours?
no, because it doesn't take me 2 hours to come.
Oh, so you got yours.
Oh, I got mine very
Nice.
quickly. And then I was like, and then he like didn't like really realize it and like was trying to do more. And I was like, no, it's cool, bro. Let's take care of you.
Tap
And he
him on
was
the head,
like,
and you're like, I'm good, man. Let's get out of here.
and then he just like, was like not communicative about
That's
anything he
beautiful.
wanted.
We
Good
should
for
probably
you.
get
Yeah.
on
And
Good
so
luck,
that's fine.
Rebecca,
Rebecca.
with your cowboy, Becky. She seems like a
She
Becky.
was an anonymous
Rebecca.
one. Anonymous Jake L writes, after dating my boyfriend for almost 4 months, it's like I'm getting the silent treatment. When we met, we'd text like all the time and even fall asleep on the phone talking. Yeah, it got less often after our honeymoon phase, but that's what goes down in normal dating, and that was fine for like 2 months. Out of nowhere, like I don't have any ideas why it changed, even if I try to think about it really hard, I don't remember anything. He won't answer text for over a day sometimes or talk on the phone. When we do, it's okay except with text because he has very short responses like, okay, and cool, if I tell him about something I think he would like. What did I do?
Whoa,
How long
what
did they
do
say
I
they
do?
were dating?
4 months. What did
her
I
name,
do?
Her name is not Rebecca. For a second, I was like, I think her name really is Rebecca, but it's not.
No.
Sorry,
I don't know the name because she said she was
No, I
anonymous.
just thought it just like I was
And
like,
this
oh my god,
person's,
did you just say her name?
Anonymous? Oh,
No, this is Jake.
Oh, it's
JL.
Jake. Okay.
Well, my first question is, why are you talking about all this texting? Do you guys not hang out in person? He doesn't say anything about how he is
for
when
4
they're
months
actually
too,
together.
Yeah. Well, and also like you're just gonna have that withdrawal if you were talking that much at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We were falling asleep. Like
Yeah,
you're just gonna have natural come down.
Yeah, there's a naturally in the beginning of relationships, you're so eager when you like someone to learn more about them, to like find out who they are, and you're like very happy to talk to them. And not that it like the happiness goes away or anything like that, but I think it's like early in a relationship, it's way more natural that you want to do all this stuff with conversation and texting and everything. But him taking a whole day to like respond with just okay.
That's weird.
But I
that's
still
not
want to know,
good.
like, but what is he like in person? He's not saying anything about like what it's like when they're hanging out. Because if it's totally normal, then he probably is just like he doesn't feel like he needs to put as much effort into the texting because they're hanging out. Like, not normally, at least when you start dating someone, there's a lot more texting and a lot less hanging out in person. And then as things progress, it's like, well, you're sleeping over at each other's houses, or you're getting meals together, or you're like doing stuff together. So like the texting might be a little bit less important. So like if that's happening,
But I would be less. I mean, he doesn't say specifically, but it sounds like he texts him, doesn't see him, and then gets a response the next day.
And so that's definitely weird.
Yeah.
Like, if it's the case where, like, the dude's like, oh, we hang out all the time now, I don't need to text as much, that's one thing. If they're not hanging out, then it sounds like the guy's just kind of, like, becoming disinterested and, like, pushing him away.
Right. Yeah, so that's something that you guys need to just, like, you need to ask him about. Like, hey, just curious, like, did anything change? Are you feeling anything different? It's possible that he's over it.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause he might
It
also
is.
just say, if you ask him, he might be like, no, everything's fine. But like, you know, his actions speak louder than his words.
Right.
Yeah.
If you aren't hanging out like if you hang out once a week, but that's still the response, and even if when you hang out once a week, it's great. If the response is like he doesn't respond until like every other day, but normally he responded pretty quickly, that means something's weird.
Yeah. If you guys
Yeah.
are hanging out less than before, then I would definitely think he's trying to put some distance there. If
Yeah.
you're hanging out more than before, then it might be different.
I
It's
was
also something
dating
to take in mind that if you met this person on like an online dating app, then they might still be on it.
Yeah.
And like
well for 4 months though. I would think
trading.
But
up.
he said after 2 months is when it got kind
Yeah.
of like different. It was fine for 2 months.
Well, it sounds like it was 3 weeks. It was honeymoon. Then 2 more months. Everything it died down after 3 weeks a little bit, but it was fine for 2 months. And so it's like this last month and a week ish time period was is the problem, which is a long time for this to be going
their
on.
honeymoon phase was 3 weeks.
Apparently,
That's not a great relationship.
No, it's not.
no.
Mm.
I mean,
It sounds like an
maybe he
online
did-
relationship. Like,
but
it's
maybe he
too-
defines it
too
differently.
quickly,
Yeah, it does sound
and
online.
it's gonna
Yeah.
peter out too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just talk to him about it. Ask him what's up, and you'll know in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to
That's
have a
true.
DTR.
No, you need to. I mean, they've talked on the phone before, right?
Mhm.
I mean, he stated
Yeah.
that they've spent nights and slept on the phone with each other or whatever.
Mhm.
So call him.
Yeah,
and,
or
and
meet
just
up
be
with
like,
him if you
hey,
can.
like I don't want to freak out about this or anything, but like my mind is going to places, and I just want you to confirm what I'm feeling.
Well, also, if you guys haven't talked about being exclusive, this would be a great way to find out if he wants to be
yeah,
exclusive.
he might not even consider you guys in a relationship.
Yeah.
He might just think like
Right.
we're still dating and like see each other occasionally,
Yeah,
and he
after
might just be
4
like
months,
dating
though.
other people.
Yeah,
I
but
would
if
hope
the
not.
honeymoon phase was only 3 weeks, it's entirely possible that he was like, oh, we had a fun fling.
Yeah,
they
it's really hard
kept
to
in
tell with
touch.
us.
They were texting and stuff, but then they didn't really do anything relationship-y, and the dude's now seeing other people.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in relationships. No, not relationships. I've been in situations where like I was texting and like talking to a guy. We hooked up a few times, and like months later, I was like, oh, they still think this is a thing. It's not a thing. We're not together. We're not in a relationship, and we had to like officially be like, no, this is not a thing.
Did you try to get pancakes with them?
No.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
I think it's possible that this could be that situation where there's just not clear communication about what their relationship is.
Yeah, I mean, it
agree.
seems with a lack of communication, that's entirely possible. It's also, I think this is less likely, but it's also possible that something bad happened in his life and he's kind of like retreating into pseudo depression and is just, pushing you away because he feels too vulnerable. He feels like he's not ready to share that with you yet. That's a way something like this could happen. I think that's really not likely to be the case, but just spitballing.
Yeah. Talk to him, find out.
DTR.
Yeah. All right, we got one more from Mitchell, he says who he is. Hey there, Awkwards. Love the show and finally got a question for y'all. Uh-oh, Richard, don't get turned on.
Ooh.
My name, y'all. I can't do it. My name
Y'all? Oh, that's what you were... Oh.
Yeah.
No, that didn't turn me on, sorry.
No, well, because he sounds Southern.
I say y'all, I'm not Southern.
Yeah, I do too. My name is Mitchell. I'm hetero with a touch of gay for threesomes, etc. Oh, well, I guess
That sounds like a perfume. Touch of gay.
The touch of gay. Yeah. We should make
Does that smell like balls and...
we got to make an ad for that.
No, I think it should be a cologne and it should be sophisticated yet sporty.
Yes.
Touch of gay.
Touch of gay.
You are a man, but you are more than just a man. You are sophisticated, yet sporty. You are strong, yet emotional. You are not defined by convention, for you have a touch of gay. Dolce & Gabbana, touch of gay. The new fragrance for the right kind of man.
I think that the logo should be like a silhouette of a man, but with an ascot.
What if the bottle has an ascot?
The bottle should have an ascot.
Yeah, that's
All
good.
right. Okay. All right.
Comes with an ascot, I like that.
Check your YouTube. It's going to be up there by the time you're hearing this, and you're probably going to hear the audio version in just a second. So
Anyway, go on.
oh right, I'm not done. I'm hetero with a touch of gay for threesomes, etc. 32 years young, and been in a relationship with my college sweetie. She's Caroline. That's in quotes, so I'm assuming that's her not
Not
real
Not
name.
her
Caroline.
name, yeah.
Okay, for 10 years, coming on 11. All right. 11 is coming soon, and... Did you do this on purpose?
Go on.
And anniversaries come with anniversary gifts. I got no idea what to get anymore. Add up the birthdays, anniversaries, Christmases, and you get 30 gifts, and then there are those other gifts that come up for why ever. For some recent years, I just stole gift ideas from my friends she didn't know, and that worked out well, but I ran out. She loves the gifts, and I love her, but I don't know what to get my lady anymore. You got any clever stuff? I got her bukkake for a stocking stuffer, so don't say bukkake. Thank you for buying bukkake. But I guess I just said it, so... Anyway...
He's looking for
Ideas.
gift ideas? What did his threesome have to do with it?
No,
You saying he's touch of gay.
I think he's...
Give her a threesome.
I think, 'cause we always ask... Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Invite
have
a
you
man
done
over.
that?
Well, if we have a financier that would like to market Touch of Gay, then maybe he could get her that. We could do a lady and a men's version.
You know what? Give her the touch of gay commercial we're going to make. I mean, we made. Now it's in the past. Yeah. It's hard because you didn't say anything about who she is.
I think what he's asking is more, what do I do when I've been in a relationship with the same person for 10 years and I run out of ideas?
I think it's
well,
hard.
get a number 11 and jerk off on it because it seems to be in your mind.
I think that Adam is really good at giving gifts because
And you have a trick.
Thank you.
he pays attention
I have
to...
a trick.
Yeah, you have a trick, which I stole from you.
Okay, well, you
What's the
keep
trick?
Richard, keep complimenting me because this is rare. And then, Erica, you tell me what my trick is.
Because throughout, life, he pays attention to the things that you say, just off the cuff. Like, oh, I want this thing.
And I write them in a notebook.
And then
That's the trick.
yeah,
okay.
so he'll jot it down, and when it comes time for these holidays or birthdays, whatever, he remembers, or he goes back to his journal. He's like, oh, this is the thing that they mentioned that they wanted that they never got for themselves, so now I'm gonna purchase it for them. Or he also pays attention to the things that I'm into at that moment. At the end of last year, I started getting really into sketching and drawing and stuff like that, so he got me a bunch of art supplies. And so
well, for drawing though.
for drawing, yeah. So I think you have to kind of do that a little bit, and I'm okay at it, but what
you've gotten much better.
I tend to do is like pay attention to what his interests are and then go for like a weird thing of that interest. And so
I can be difficult to buy for because I generally don't want anything.
And he buys everything for himself anyway.
Well, if I get something for me, it's usually because like I need it to do work or whatever, and it wouldn't be a good gift.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like he's already in 0 hour though.
Yeah.
It? Like he's like, I don't have time to be intuitive. It's like I need to.
No, I think he's saying like I've added up all of these gifts and I've gotten her 30 gifts and now I don't get ideas anymore. Like I think it's like the first year that he's realized like I've given her everything I can give.
Yeah, I mean, like if Richard wrote me a heartfelt letter every year, I would be fine with it. Like it doesn't matter that it's the same thing. So it like I think you know who she is. So
the note thing totally works though. I mean, it's like it's easier.
I would think especially for a woman.
It's easier depending on who you date because like you, what you're saying, like you buy everything for yourself usually. Then when you don't buy it, both me and Richard buy it for you because we're like, oh my god, he didn't buy this thing that he said he wanted.
Yeah, they both got me a Nintendo Pro controller. That's the one, like, there's that one thing, this may or may not be useful, but there's always, like, something that I feel is too high priced to justify buying, and I felt the Nintendo Pro controller for $75 could not be good enough to justify that, and it certainly comes close. It is a very nice controller, and I'm glad they both got me one.
They got you two.
No,
we each got you one.
Yeah,
right.
You both got me one.
Yes.
Each of you.
That was correct.
Yeah. Okay, so we've said it all the ways. But, you know, and it is good because we have an extra one, and that's useful, and Richard's been using it sometimes, I think. But you know, not a party, then we have another controller. Yay, everybody's happy. But you know, it's one of those things where, like, I never would have bought that for myself because I'm like, this is just, it's too expensive and I don't agree with it morally.
But the point is that
it's
that happens all the time with people. Like, even if it's not something as practical as, like, oh, I want this controller, but I think it's too expensive. Like, people will be like, well, walk by something and be like, oh, that's a really cool style of, I don't know, table. Like, that's something I could see in our house someday. Or like, oh, I really like this type of jewelry, or like whatever. Like generally, if you've been in a relationship for a while, you know how to like say things to be like, these are the kind of things I like. Like Jacob recently told me, because I got him these slippers for his birthday once, and he was like, I think I'd really like having multiple different kinds of slippers. And I was like, cool, thanks for the hint. You know, like that's a really easy thing because now I can get you 3 more pairs of slippers whenever something comes up. I don't know what to get you.
Yeah, and you also like. It's been 10 years. Richard, how many years did we do anniversary gifts for? Because I think it was like maybe 3 at most.
Yeah.
Like after that, it's just
tough,
like,
dude.
It's like, what? I mean,
we just like spend the night together, and that's about it.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, we usually just go to the same restaurant, and which is fine because we love it, and we don't get down there enough. But it's you know, we have a nice dinner and a half glass of wine in my case, because that's all I can handle, and it's. And it's nice, and we talk and like, you know, be together.
Well, it's tough too because he actually left out Valentine's Day, but there's really like 4 times in a year where you're supposed to get your significant other something. Yeah, that's a lot of times.
Yeah, when did we with Valentine's Day? I got you some stuffed animals in the beginning and some candy, which you were very excited about, but that only lasted so long because now we have a excess stuffed animal problem from all of that because we both
Valentine's
like
Day's
them.
easy though. It's just flowers.
No, it's chocolate.
You can also do that, but it's all like you're not giving. I mean, usually I don't think you don't have to give anybody anything. For example, like the stuffed animal thing. Like it's gonna pile up on you.
Yeah, like what
flowers,
do you do? Because you've been with your girlfriend or
2 years and some change.
Yeah. So how do you approach giving her gifts?
I mean, it's literally the same thing you just said. It's like I listened to what she said a few days ago. She was like, "Man, I really want a Fitbit. I should get one of those." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know people seem to like them." And that was it.
I did that for Erica.
So now, when her birthday comes in a month, I'm gonna give it to her.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, just as people, as humans, we do drop these hints, and I don't think they're always like consciously dropping hints.
Yeah,
I think
did
we
not
just like
consciously drop the controller.
No, I know.
All. That was
we
me
just talk
being
kinda,
angry at the controller.
You kind of put it out there.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, oh, I would
I'm
like
thinking
that.
about getting this. And it's usually pretty obvious if you're not actually gonna go get it like that day, you know?
Yeah.
Like versus,
especially with me because I will be very vocal about how I think it's bad.
Like, there's a big difference between like, oh, I want to go shopping for this thing, and like, I think these things things are kind of cool. Maybe I should get one.
Mm-hmm,
You know, you just kind of put it out in the universe.
And the bigger thing too, like if you're in a bind, what I find easier is like if I can't find a thing, like a product, consumer product to buy, what I'll do is like, well, I know her well, I know her likes, I know what she likes to do, so let me just invest some money in an experience for her.
Yeah.
So if that's a super
that's
nice
always
restaurant,
safe.
hotel or a restaurant that she really likes and just opened up, boom, I got us in there, and I make like a day out of like a whole night out of it. It's that, and then like you get a hotel room, you just make it. And you know what is a bigger thing too? With my fiance's birthday, I always wear a suit on the day. It just makes it seem she gets
It's more
flowers.
special.
She gets flowers at work. I'm in a suit the whole day, everywhere. So she gets to dress up. It feels nice. So even though some of the stuff we do is just like we go out and eat. Yeah, we just go out and eat, and then like maybe go see a movie that she's always wanted to see or whatever. Unless we come back home, we're always dressed up, so she feels.
Yeah.
You know, it's the dressing of it. It all feels nicer.
Yeah, I think one of the things Adam got me one year for Christmas, I think, was like a spa package. And I think that
Oh, you never went to it, though.
I did.
You did?
I went for my birthday.
Oh, I thought you never went,
It
and
was
I
a long
wasted a
time
bunch
ago.
of money.
No. I went. I told you I went.
idea.
No, I went. It was to
'cause
Burke Williams.
Yeah, you were like a little put off by it, though, because it was like I picked a weird one, I think.
No.
Oh, I thought you were like I thought you said something weird about it because I
No,
remember
no.
saying like, oh, I can try to get you a
I was
different
probably
one.
a little
'Cause I didn't
weirded
know-
out because I was like, oh my god, this is so expensive. But
It wasn't that expensive.
well,
I mean, for a spa package, I looked at them and it was one of the cheaper ones. But
Okay.
I wanted to get one that was nice. I didn't want to like get you a
but
shitty
something
one.
like that, like where you can make your SO feel pampered a little bit too. Like I think that's kind of nice. So like
You
if
do
you're
that for
running out of
couples, too,
ideas,
which
there are
is an
stuff out
anniversary.
there are things out there that
Yeah.
like don't necessarily have so much meaning behind it, but at the same time it's like if you're providing your partner with the ability to be comforted and pampered, like that's always appreciated, I
Yeah,
think.
and
It's
we've
the same rule as sex, even if you're or oral sex, blowjobs. Blowing jobs. In my mind, there's only one rule to blowjobs, and it's just put some effort into it. That's it. You don't have to be good. Put some effort into it. And it's the same with this. Just as long as she sees you put effort into it, it doesn't really matter what you do. As long as she sees it, she's like, oh,
yeah, I mean,
that's
don't
great.
bite.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's
that's
some-
not
Unless
effort.
they ask for it.
That's not really
Yeah.
effort. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree that like if you know someone, if you pick a category, like I love cheese, right? And we did Hanukkah this year, which was 8 days. So that was a lot.
You just had a cheese menorah.
No, it was 8 days of gifts. And
That would be interesting fondue.
You and
it
Jacob
would
did
be.
it?
Yeah.
Aw.
And so it was like he decided he wanted to celebrate Hanukkah with me, and I was like, that's really sweet because you know I don't like Christmas, but he always wants a Christmas present. And so I was like, that's a really good compromise. But it was like challenging because we were like, fuck, we have to come up with like 8 different gifts. And like he knows I love cheese, so he went to this really awesome place that has cheese and got me 3 different kinds of cheese. And like it really didn't matter that it was the same gift 3 times because they were all different cheeses and I fucking love cheese. And they were these like super high-end cheeses.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And it's like all he had to do was like, she loves cheese. I'm gonna go to the store and get a bunch, you know?
Maybe we
Effort.
should try that, Richard. We haven't done Hanukkah before.
We did Hanukkah-ish.
We did?
We did Christmas Hanukkah style, where we for 8 days leading up to Christmas or
We did.
whatever, we exchanged
Oh
one
yeah,
gift.
you told me about that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we did
doing
this
that.
like 3 years ago.
I mean, I usually get you that many gifts, but I don't remember doing them
Yeah.
over days.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it again. It sounds fun now.
It was pretty fun. We lit them in
Every
aura
time,
night.
Erica, not every time, but a lot of times Erica will talk about something fun that she's done, and Adam's like, we should do that.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not good. Like the going to Cabo, that didn't work so well for us. 'cause
It was fine.
No,
I wouldn't
it
say I
wasn't.
hated it. It was fine.
No,
It was just boring, but it was
Well,
fine.
watch out, because as soon as I went on a cruise, he was like, I want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it
but
already.
but I brought that one up cautiously. But I've also been on cruises, and I like cruises, and I've been meaning to go on one again. It's more of like, is Carnival going to be the same as Norwegian Cruise Lines?
That's Rosie O'Donnell's cruise.
Well, I went to I mean, that was Rosie O'Donnell's cruise.
I
line,
know.
But I was excited about that cruise because I went on a Norwegian cruise when I was 9 with the family, and I loved it. And I met this girl there, and we
Became the best of friends.
we were lovers, Richard. We played shuffleboard together,
Fun.
and I
Anyway,
taught her how
I
to walk
think-
like a crab.
I think we gave this guy
Yeah, we gave
so
him lots
much.
of ideas.
Good
Yeah.
luck. Have a threesome on us.
Not literally though, because
Yeah, we don't want people on us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We did it. We did an episode, and
And answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Instead
us.
of question. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Please keep them coming. We'll try not to talk about myself too much in future episodes as well. I guess once out of 214. That's pretty good.
What?
I mean, we answered one question.
Yeah, we did, but only because we had to.
We answered all the
And it was
questions.
ridiculous.
You know, last time.
Last
week.
Last week we just talked about my
For
problem.
people who don't listen every single week, we had this episode where we're like, oh, we have a couple awkward situations and we'll get into questions. We accidentally spent an hour talking about ourselves and we're like, oh, we're out of time. We're going to answer this one question so we can say we answered questions and then we'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's
But it was-
true. That did happen.
I do think it was a relatable situation, at least.
Well, it hasn't aired yet, right?
It did before we started today.
So it just went up today.
Yeah, so there, yeah.
Because we did tell people, tell us if this was horribly boring for you.
Yeah, and
So we'll find out.
Yeah, we won't. I mean, it's possible I hit stop and we'll find out immediately, but most likely in a few days. Usually Wednesday is when the influx of questions come in for some reason. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, Anayat.
Yep.
Also, happy birthday a couple days later.
Thank
Might as
you.
well let the public
feliz
know.
cumpleaños.
Oh, thank you.
Bon fête.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
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 Oh wait, I am not on the bye screen. Okay, everybody can say bye now.
Bye.
You have a question, story, comment, or whatever for the Awkward Human Survival Guide? We want to hear it. We read everything we get on the show, censored for your privacy if you wish, and might laugh about your problem because tragedy loves humor, but genuinely want to help you out. If you've got something to share with us, even if you think it's stupid, send it in as anonymously or proudly as you wish. You can do all of that at awkward.email. You just go to http://awkward.email. Oh yeah, and watch the videos on YouTube, youtube.com/awkwardhuman.